Hello, this is Inside the Press Box with Sunil Sunder Raj for the Everyday Fan Sports. I'm happy to be speaking with Marc Mitchell, head coach of the St. Peter's University women's basketball team. Coach Mitchell, again, thank you so much for taking some time out to speak with me today about the upcoming, Peacocks, 2021-22 season. Again, coming off a tremendous, season last year, reaching, the finals of the MAC tournament championship game. Can you, right off the bat, can you talk about this year's team, Coach Mitchell?
Yeah, first of all, thanks so much for having me on here. Much appreciated. This year's team, a little different from last year's team, but I think we have the same intensity, tenacity. Our primary objective is to rebound the basketball. I think we're going to do that as well as we did last year, maybe even better. We have a positive nucleus with Kendrea Williams coming back, Benta Salau and Sky Castro, three starters that are returning from last season. Our other players that came in have improved from last season. That was on the squad last year. Taylor Abraham, Gia Moore, Rachel Cool, Victoria Ignacio. Those young ladies came back this year in better shape, better mentalities, and better players, quite frankly, from last season. And then, Nikhil O'Neal, I can't speak enough about her, of her improvement from last season to this season thus far. I think you're going to see some tremendous results from those young ladies. And then a couple of transfers that we had come in, Courtney Crane from Chicago State, and then Cassandra Brown from Rhode Island. They're going to make major impacts in our conference this season.
I mean, I think you have 4 seniors, and of course, Kendra's a graduate now. So, I mean, relatively a young team that is set up not only well for this season, but for years to come here, Coach Mitchell.
Certainly. We have established a culture here of hard work, commitment, work ethic, much more disciplined. So we've established that culture now, and wait till you see the recruits that we have coming in next season. It's going to blend in with these young ladies. I mean, I feel like something special is brewing here in my program.
When we talked last season, you emphasized how much you really are hard on these kids. I mean, it said attention to detail. You talked about the work ethic. It said you demand the highest from your team, Coach Mitchell.
No question. I'm extremely difficult on my players, particularly early, to try to weed out some of the bad habits that may have occurred, and to try to instill some great habits. And I think over the course of a season, you see the difference between my team in November as opposed to March.
Yeah.
So I think we get incrementally better on a daily basis, and I think the results are the results. You see what the program is and where it's going.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, 4th season as head coach of the St. Peter's University women's basketball team. I mean, last year, 11-14, 10-9 in the MAC conference. Best finish, since the 2008-2009 season, Coach Mitchell. Named MAC Coach of the Year. As I said, you reached the championship game, clinched the 3rd seed, which was the highest in almost 20 years, I think it was. And just the role that you guys were on, said at the end of the season, you defeated Marist, they said not only the team that won, said the regular season championship, but also the MAC tournament. Can you just talk about what that journey was like, throughout the season? And again, the run at the end of the season, especially in the MAC tournament.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain there's the MAC conference has some great coaches in this league. And, you look at Quinnipiac and you look at Marist, Coach Fabry and Coach George's are really the gold standard
Yeah.
to this conference, if you ask me. And that's what I look to. I'm like, those are the teams that we have to beat, not just compete, but beat them, because they're not going to beat themselves. So, it was a great run last year. We lost a tough game up at Niagara. And, we had the back-to-back games. We lost a tough game at Niagara on the last second shot by a great player in Angel Parker made a great play. And that's what great players do. They make great plays. So she made a great play, and we lost that game. And then after that game, we had to play the next day. We had a round before the next game against Niagara, and Sky Castro came to have a conversation with me. And it was very, very mature conversation that she wanted to have. And after that conversation, I was convinced. I said, "Oh, we're going to win the chip this year." Like and when Sky's going, we're going as a unit. So we went out and won that game, and that's kind of where we got started on the roll right there, and just really playing together. And I think when we got to the championship game against Marist, they were at full tilt, we were at full tilt, and it just shows the level of intensity that you must have in a championship game. And I don't think some of us were ready for that. It was a learning lesson for us. Marist taught us very well, if you will. And I believe we will be ready this season.
You talked about the challenges, playing back-to-back games, so with this COVID-19 pandemic, and now, returning, to a sense of normalcy in a way this year, with games during the week. I wanted to ask you just, how you guys were able to cope with that. It was crazy, I said, this last year. Just, can you talk about that, Coach Mitchell?
Yeah, I want to give credit to my players with this. I mean, as a coach, you whatever's you have in front of you, you deal with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and for young people, particularly the young people, had to, they were staying with each other. They couldn't go out anywhere, couldn't do anything, couldn't see their families, didn't go home for Thanksgiving to see their families, didn't go home for Christmas to see their family. And now, we're playing this team. No, we're not playing this team. We had to go somewhere else and play. Like, everything was chaotic.
Throwing a curveball every time.
Every week it was something. First weekend we were supposed to fly up to Niagara and play Niagara that weekend, and boom, no, you're not playing Niagara. Oh, Iona was supposed to come to St. Peter's and play St. Peter's, but we couldn't host, so we went over to Iona. We gave up a home series to play Iona at Iona to open up, back conference play. So it was constantly curveballs being thrown at us. Credit my players for being so resilient and handling the adversity thrown at them. I think that the thing was we were just really mentally tough. Like we were mentally tough throughout the year, and hats off to my players.
And you didn't have a home court to play on. That was well documented, Coach. I mean, I heard your frustration when we talked, on the phone. It said having to play on, New Jersey City University's, home floor, and the fact that you had to practice at a high school gym, and the fact that you guys were able to accomplish so much, again, just a testament, to all the hard work, said the discipline. Can you talk about that? I mean, that's just, and now I wanted to ask you what the update is now with the Undertale Center and what's going to happen for this season.
Yeah, well, for last season, it stems from my mentality. Like, it's just how I am, who I am. Doesn't really matter what you throw at Marc Mitchell. I'm going to handle it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to win. Like, I don't let obstacles stop me from being successful. In fact, the more you throw at me, the harder I go, and the more focused, if you will, that I become. So it's kind of like trash talking to Michael Jordan. Like, why would you do that? Like, leave him alone. and then he may be just average, but no, it's like that for me. I lock in, and the more adversity is thrown at me, the more disciplined I become. So, it was crazy last season, but I didn't let it affect me. And players, they're going to feed off of their head coach.
Yeah.
And again, hats off to my players because they didn't let it affect them. We prepared for, I don't forget who we were preparing for all week, one week, and Thursday after practice, I get a phone call from my AD. Hey, the MAC needs somebody to play Manhattan on Saturday. I'm like, we prepared for another series. So we're like, okay, no problem. We'll play them Saturday. And I call up my players. Hey, we're playing Manhattan Saturday. So we got practice tomorrow. We're going to prepare for Manhattan. Now all week, we prepared for somebody else. I think it was Fairfield at the time. So it didn't phase us.
Yeah.
Like, we won't allow anything to phase us.
Yeah, that's great.
And this year, the Undertale is completely renovated. Beautiful.
Okay.
It is absolutely gorgeous. You got to come out and see it.
Definitely.
You got to come out and see it. Our men is playing an exhibition game November 1st against NJCU.
Okay.
And then on November 3rd, we're playing an exhibition game against NJCU to open up the arena. So
that's terrific.
That's
great to hear. That's great to hear. Let's talk about this schedule, Coach Mitchell. You talked about the exhibition away at Rutgers and Lehigh, I believe, home to Wagner and Howard, away at NJIT, home to Morgan State, away at Delaware State, home to Coppin State. Then I believe the MAC openers on December 17th away at Niagara, and then you go to Canisius afterwards, the following game. So let's just talk about, the beginning to the season, just again, what your expectations are here.
Yeah, we starting off, some serious competition. We're playing Rutgers. I know Rutgers, their tradition and of pressure defense and hard work. I know they have a whole slew of new players there this season, so it's going to be very, very difficult to even scout them.
Yeah.
But and it's the first game of the season, so I don't have any film on them. So that's going to be very, very difficult. But we're going in with the mindset of just going to, we're going to fight and let's see where the chips fall. Lehigh is the next game, which is, Lehigh went to the NCAA tournament last season and their preseason pick number one in the Patriot League this year. So, they're going to be an extremely tough out, and they're going to be home and so I'm sure they're, having crowds there now is going to assist them. But we're looking forward to that challenge. And then the following week we play Wagner for our home opener. And Wagner has a new coach. He's a great guy and he's a great coach as well. So, we're just looking forward to all of that stuff, and then opening up, this year for MAC play December 17th and 19th. We're up in Buffalo playing Niagara, then Canisius on that Sunday. So we're looking forward to our Buffalo swing in December. Right around when finals are over. So we're really just excited to get started, and we want to get out and work, and we want to show everyone that last year wasn't a fluke, because I'm quite sure there are many people out there that believe that last year was just, it was the COVID year, this happened, that, and it was a fluke.
Yeah.
No, myself, my coaching staff, we can coach. Our players are hard-nosed kids. They want to play and they want to work. We lost a great player in Taya Thornton, graduated, and another player decided she wanted to transfer. So, we just want to get out and show the country that, we were for real. We weren't a fluke.
Yeah, I'm sure you can use that preseason poll ranking for number 8 as bulletin board material, Coach Mitchell. That's something, that, you take that us against them, mentality.
Well, I mean, it's a clear indication of what they think of us.
Yeah.
I don't have to make anything up. It's right there in front of you. This is what they think of you. And then, the 3 teams that we're picked ahead of, all 3 of those teams have brand new coaches this year. It's their first year coaching in the league. So
Hmm.
it's clear what they think of us. So
Yeah.
I don't really have to say anything. So it's funny, like I was in bed watching Friday Night Lights last night, 9:15, and I get a call. Three of my players are on FaceTime, and they're borderline angry. Like, coach, they got us eighth.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
borderline angry. And I'm like sitting there like, this is what they don't think much of you.
Hmm.
So this is what it is.
Yeah.
So, every great team takes on the personality of their head coach. So obviously, how I feel.
It's true. I skipped one school, in that in the schedule was NJIT as well. That the fact is about Jersey basketball, getting to play other schools within the state. That's great. I'm sure for the state to be on ESPN, ESPN Plus or ESPNU. That's
Mhm.
great. I mean, to see the level that New Jersey college basketball has risen over the years. Can you just talk about that? It just popped into my head, Coach. I just wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah, we're fortunate to be able to play, like teams that are locally, like, we can go to Seton Hall whenever they need a school, and playing NJIT annually and playing FDU annually.
Yeah.
Really helps out all of us. And Jersey basketball is thriving. There's some really, really great grassroots programs here in New Jersey. We're just reaching out to them and talking to those people as well. But playing NJIT annually is a fantastic thing for both programs. So I'm really happy about that.
Great. Just have a couple more. Can't thank you for the time, Coach Mitchell. Don't want to forget about your assistant coaches, James Boney, Jessica
Cavaco.
Cavaco, and Kiana Porter. Can you talk about just said working with them? Hearing said again, you guys, I'm sure just enjoyed said the last couple years. Said just talk about that.
Yeah, well, yeah, the staff is fantastic. We're a family here. Um, I've known Coach James Bonnie. I've known him for 13, 14 years now, about 14 years now. Great working relationship, great basketball mind he has. Um, Jessica Cavaco and Kiana Porter, two young ladies. When I was a high school coach, I coached them. They were players of mine in high school.
Okay.
So you know how close that we are as a family. So none of the success that the players have or I have would occur without them.
Great. And also, administration, athletics play a huge part of this as well. Director of Athletics, Rachel Paul, and I believe President Eugene J. Cornacchia, I believe, if I'm mispronouncing his name, I apologize. Can you talk about that component as well, Coach Mitchell?
It's President Cornacchia.
Oh, Kornacki, I'm sorry. If you can
no
just talk,
worries.
my apologies. If you can talk about that as well with the administration, it's just important as well.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of getting renovating the facilities and getting the facilities up, and they really support the athletes here at St. Peter's. Men's basketball is doing a tremendous job with Coach Holloway.
Mhm.
And that program. So they're doing a great job.
It's great. I don't want to forget, it's going to be great to have fans back in the stands. You have alumni, and just to get that support. I'm just wondering what that process has been, especially now that, last year it must have been really, strange, playing in front of, said hardly anybody or, no one. I just wanted to ask you about that. Just how electrifying that's going to be, said in, a couple of weeks, when you're, playing there at the Undertale Center, Coach Mitchell.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a different feel this year. Like last year was like you said, hardly anyone in the arenas that we were in. So having fans back, knowing that there are going to be fans back, it's just really going to, I guess, add a little juice to all of the games. So I know everybody's excited about it, having them there. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff being yelled from the stands now, a little bit more trash talking, which I love. I'm feeling really excited about it. I'm glad the fans are back. I'm glad they're here to see a great product that we're going to put out here at St. Peter's.
Yeah, I mean, you got that logo in the background. When that what you want that jersey to represent, when the players put it on, every time, whether it's a home or away game, what the message is, what that motto is, for St. Peter's University women's basketball.
Yeah, everybody knows like our motto is as one. So we do everything together. It's about the team. The team always comes first. The young ladies don't play for themselves. They play for each other. They play for their sister. So that's what we're all about. It's about togetherness and to be quite frank, this is way bigger than basketball for us. We're going to develop long lasting relationships well beyond the ball, because the ball is going to stop bouncing eventually. And what do you have left? We have each other.
Yeah. No, excellent point you made. And also another thing is that it's just not about athletics, Coach Mitchell. It's the academic, part as well. That being a student athlete as well. And it's a lot for them to tackle. They have to be, well organized. Time management. Can you speak to that as well?
Yeah, I mean, we take academics very, very seriously here. Again, basketball is going to stop. What's next? So we take that very, very seriously. We had a team GPA of 3.56 last season, which I'm extremely, extremely proud of.
Yeah.
And over the summer, our kids, had to go to summer school. So we give them a summer class, and everybody takes pride in their academics. And quite frankly, our culture here is our players really police themselves. So they're on each other about making sure that you get your classwork done. We need you to get your classwork done. Our team GPA is this. So we're fortunate in that regard.
It's great. The final two I have for you, Coach Mitchell, from that first season, you went through your growing pains. Said under 500, but to see where this program has taken off year after year. Now, it's coming off last season. I'm just wondering for you personally, how satisfying that is. I know that every year is different, but just the fact that to see where this program has progressed. Just had to get your take on that, Coach Mitchell.
Yeah, I could say I'm happy, but I wouldn't say I'm satisfied. I'm not even close. I'm not even close to satisfied. Like that satisfaction is
Yeah.
way off.
Yeah.
I am pleased. I am pleased with the progression. I am pleased to see that the culture is starting to rear its head now.
Yeah.
Of togetherness, of fighting for each other, of mental toughness, resiliency, all of those things that encompasses as one. Our culture is starting to rear its head now. So our first year, we won 6 games my first year here, and that's more than they won in the previous 2 seasons.
That's true.
So I'm really, really happy about that. The next year we improved. We were preseason picked 11th, last in the conference, and we ended up 9th. So there's the improvement. And now last season, here we go again, improving. Particularly in crazy times, we were preseason picked 9th, and we finished 3rd. So, I mean, anyone who has their eyes open will see where the program was before Marc Mitchell and where the program is with Marc Mitchell. So we see where it is and where it's going.
Okay, Coach Mitchell, final question. What is your message to the fans out there, alumni, said not only locally here, but, nationally might be watching for, it said the St. Peter's University Women's Basketball 2021-22 season?
Come out, man. Come out and watch us. I think you will be pleased with the product. I think that you're going to be extremely pleased with how hard these young ladies work, and quite frankly, our staff, how hard we work as well. We are very detailed in what we're going to do, but we are going to play with a little chip on our shoulder. I mean, preseason picked 8th. Okay, we'll see how that turns out.
Sounds good. Coach Mitchell, again, it's been a true honor and privilege, interviewing you. Thank you for the opportunity. And again, wishing you, the rest of the players, the coaching staff, all the best, in the 2021-22 season.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Always will appreciate you. I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach Mitchell.